You guys are so good at getting things done. I really appreciate that. Wow, I really like that. You get all your tasks done, you get everything finished. That's fantastic. What? You can't be here on time? Isn't this like the third time that you're not here? Huh. Okay. Functional versus relational boundaries. Functional is what you might think. Can you complete tasks on time? Are you a person that shows up and gets the work done? Are you available to be there? It's the person who comes over, helps you fix the car, the dishwasher, all those repair needs, but they can't share with you that something's going on in their life, or they're unable to hear that you're struggling. They really have difficulty with being aware of other people's emotions. So it's not quite that simple, but functional boundaries are where I can take care of tasks, I can take care of my work, I'm a good provider, I do what's necessary. But the minute you start talking about relationship stuff, either I'm out of there, or I blow up, or I go numb out. I told you the story about when I get overwhelmed emotionally, I'll go to the cabinets and start eating because I'm not processing that, and I don't have clear relationship boundaries. I do now, but I didn't then have clear relationship boundaries. So I'm Tanya. I've been living with an addicted family situation for over 20 years. It has been resolved, and I've been coaching people to success and healing for the last 5 years. So thank you for joining me this morning. And in the book Boundaries by Townsend and Cloud, one of the things they talk about is the Mary and Martha story. And if you've ever heard that, it's very confusing. Mary is sitting at the feet of Jesus and listening, and Martha is running around trying to get everything ready because she's got people in the house. There are people here. They need to be fed, they need to be taken care of. There are things that need to happen. And what we've been told is don't be a Martha, don't miss what's really good right in front of you. And Jesus even says to Martha when she comes and complains, he says, look, I need some help. Jesus said, Mary is taking in what's most important, and that's being with me because I won't be here all the time. That's hard to swallow for those of us who are task oriented. And I always thought, hey, there's a house full of people. Jesus, are you just going to send down angels to take care of all this, to make sure this happens? So that's the difference between functional and relational boundaries. Mary was sitting with someone who could heal her soul and be with her right then in person, whereas Martha is over concerned about what's going on in the household. Martha's great at doing tasks, maybe even Mary's great at doing tasks, but Mary recognizes that the important thing is to be with Jesus at this moment. So functional boundaries are important, relational boundaries are important. A lot of it is timing. And all of you who live in an addicted loved one situation know that timing is crucial. If the person is coming in and they don't really have control of their emotions, what do you do? If they're not even really aware of their emotions or that it has hurt you, what do you do? Those are the things that we talk about on the podcast, the YouTube channel, and in the Sober on Purpose group. Because one of the things with the Mary and Martha story is Martha was aware that things needed to happen, but she wasn't aware of what was most important. And I've been talking about it a little bit. My son is graduating on Sunday. So what's most important for me? What is top priority is that long-term relationship with my son, with my family, with being there. I'm having to put some other tasks on hold so that I can be present for what's most important. And I think as people who live with addicts, we sometimes forget what's most important. Is it about getting the dishes in the dishwasher, making sure the floor is clean? Is it about those task things? Or is it about developing a connected relationship? Because connection is the opposite of addiction. The missing piece is this connection, and how do you provide a safe space for them to choose to shift their life, choose to get well. That does not disclude boundaries. So some relational boundaries, people are they struggle with telling the truth, and all progress starts with telling the truth. So Jesus told Martha some very what she probably perceived was very harsh truth. And we don't know what happened after that. We don't know if suddenly she sat down and listened and things did get taken care of. But you and I have all been in situations to where we have worked and worked and worked, and it would have worked out even had we not put in all those hours. So I ask you to look at your functional boundaries and your relational boundaries. Are you being honest with your feelings? Are you being honest with the people around you? One of the ways, this is tip number one of the ways you can help your addict is to display your feelings in an adult, mature way. That doesn't mean screaming back at them. That doesn't mean the punishment. It means when there is a time to do that, that you share how this made you feel, not with guilt, just with awareness. So we're looking at, again, awareness, acknowledgement, and then action. Awareness, acknowledgement, and action. They don't have to acknowledge your feelings. You need to acknowledge your feelings so that you know when you are feeling this way, it is probably not the best time to try and be connected to the addict, and to come back around and say, hey, when you didn't clean up the dishes last night, it really is a struggle for me to have to do that in the morning. How can we work out this situation? So that's combining your feelings and functional boundaries, figuring out what's important and what isn't. You could come back and say, hey, could we just switch to paper plates? Because this isn't working for either one of us, and I'd rather spend more time with you than worrying about whether the dishes get done. And that's a trigger for me. So let's just switch to paper plates. Maybe we'll even use plastic and have a nice meal, and everything goes in the trash. And then when I get up in the morning, there's nothing there. What do you need to be honest with yourself with feelings? Awareness, acknowledgement, and then action. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you about the Sober on Purpose group. We talk more in depth, we talk more about feelings, and we pray for each other there. So be sure and hop over there. I'm going to put a link in the description below, and we'll see you over there.